specifically for me on a touchdown throw that he made to Romeo Dobbs. And the way I could watch from directly behind him go through his progression and make that throw, that was a big league throw. I mean, I saw Aaron Rodgers make those throws all the time. I've seen certainly Jordan Love make those throws somewhat frequently, but that was the kind of throw that you're like, this guy can do it. Now, does he still have a lot to prove? Does he still have to go to the right place? Is Miami that right place? Would Arizona be that right place with Matt LaFleur's brother now? I don't know the answer to that, but if he gets to the right place, and there's probably 10, 12 places that I would say could fit that bill, he's going to be a good player for them, and potentially a very, very good player for them.
Here, Jason Wilde on ESPN Milwaukee. He also covers the Packers for The Athletic. You mentioned LaFleur, you mentioned Gutekunst. They just both signed contract extensions. And Jason, I mean, during the season, people were questioning the future of both of those guys. So why did the Packers feel like now's the time? We need to extend the head coach. We need to extend the general manager.
So we met with that policy at the end of the off-season program in June. They brought a bunch of us. You know, I know you guys love Domofsky, Rob Domofsky, who covers the team for ESPN. You know, I've known him for a really long time. I'm surprised Josh didn't call him, but I appreciate you guys having him.
I was busy.
Exactly. He was on questions kids play basketball. But what's interesting is that we sat down with that policy in like the Packers alumni suite where all the players watched the games. And we had lunch and we talked, and it was great. It was a good get-to-know-you session with the new president. But the biggest thing that came out of it was that he didn't believe in lame duck status for coaches and general managers. And we all knew that 2026 was supposed to be a lame duck year for both Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur. So we knew that was the headline story, and it ended up being something that throughout the year was like this undercurrent throughout the whole season. And then obviously they lose Micah Parsons in Denver, and they never win another game. They lose 4 straight to close the regular season. Then they blow the 21-3 halftime lead in Chicago. They lose twice to the Bears in less than a month. They're arch rivals. The Bears coach, Ben Johnson, is tearing off his shirt and saying F the Packers in the locker room. And I thought, dude, how do you come back from this? I was not in any way advocating for them to fire Matt LaFleur, but if you say you don't want lame ducks and you end the season that way, I was really worried for Matt LaFleur that he was going to get fired. And when they decided that stability mattered, I thought that is the Packers' way. That makes more sense than to react. And I didn't know enough about Ed Policy to know that he would take that kind of calm, reasonable, status quo approach. That all said, like, you guys have been doing this show forever. You're awesome. You know I listen to you guys all the time. But if you suddenly both bottomed out and just, you know, you're swearing on the radio and doing God knows what else, you'd still get fired. And the Packers, just because they extended these two guys, if somehow they were to bottom out next year and are 4-13, those are not going to be worth the paper they're printed on. Like, if they go 4-13, the Packers are going to move on, and they're going to say, well, that was a mistake to go with, you know, this idea of stability really rules the day. Now, do I think that's going to happen with the roster they have, the quarterback they have, with Micah Parsons coming back healthy? I don't. But I would say, really big offseason for Brian Gutekunst, that they're going to let a lot of guys from their 2022 draft class walk in free agency. They're going to not have a ton of free money to spend on free agents in the open market. And they're probably going to target guys that have been released by other teams who won't count in the compensatory pick equation, because they are banking on adding a bunch of picks in 2027 that way, because they also don't have a first-round pick this year or next year because of the Parsons trade. So Brian Gutekunst, this is a really big offseason for him. He has to deliver.
All right, I've got about 30 seconds.
Ian, real quick, if ESPN is going to fire us at any point, I do hope that they extend us first. That would
Yeah, well, that'd be nice. Every time our boss, Justin, hey, Jason, every time our boss, Justin Craig's name comes across my phone, I break into a deep sweat. So there you go. I mean, hey, I've got about 30 seconds. What happened with Rich Bisaccia, one of the best special teams coordinators in all of football? He abruptly leaves the Packers and goes to Clemson with Dabo Swinney. What happened here?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have not been able to talk to Rich. I've been trying to get in touch with him. I have a great relationship with him. I think very highly of him. And he did blindside the Packers. There were certainly fans who were frustrated with special teams. If I were to guess, and this is only a guess, A, he really did want to get back to his college roots. And B, I do wonder if he looks at the way the Packers build their roster and realizes we're never really going to be good on special teams because we're never going to devote the resources that other teams that are dedicated to special teams will devote.
There you go.
Interesting. Jason Wilde, you can check him out, of course, on Wilde and Tausch on ESPN Milwaukee. Covers the Packers as well for The Athletic. Thanks, Wilde. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Next time, Domofsky and Tausch are both unavailable. I can't wait to talk to you guys. It's always great.
You were our first choice tonight. I know it's shocking to you.